Hello,
Hi, Steffi. How are you doing?
I'm great. Finally nice to meet you face to face, albeit through a webcam, but very
Yeah.
nice. Hello.
Well, I mean, is it worth you starting to tell me all about your business, Steffi?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Thanks. Okay, well, I'm Steffi. I am a crochet pattern designer. I'm a
Mhm.
secondary school teacher as well. I'm on Etsy because I do micro crochet jewellery pieces. They're quite small. Let's see if I can pick one to show you. Not sure whether the webcam will
Oh,
show it, but I
oh,
do
so delicate.
minute jewellery
Yeah.
pieces. Thanks. And I like to sort of do them all in lots of different colours, mostly floral pieces. It's quite, I mean, obviously it's delicate, it's light, it's floral, but I also do quite a few sort of like nostalgic textile pieces, like granny squares. When people think of granny squares, they always think about their granny square blanket that their grandma might have made, sort of
Yeah.
like in their childhood. I make jewellery pieces kind of inspired with that sort of line, which people respond to really well. I also design crochet patterns as well, which I also sell online. You can download a PDF and you can make the jewellery yourself as well, or apply them
Ah,
on different projects. It's just really fun. I just get to sit in my little studio on the edge of North Yorkshire Moors and just make.
oh. Do you have a dedicated studio?
I call it a studio, but it's a box room that used to be my sister's bedroom. um, it's a lovely little space actually. I've got a little window. I mean, what studio is complete without a
Wow.
pegboard?
Oh,
Which
oh,
I love it.
absolutely.
You've
Yeah.
got to have one, haven't you? Or like a mini desk of drawers like you have behind you. You got to
Oh,
have like a little.
absolutely. And anything cute and small, like your beautiful jewellery, of course.
Thank you.
How did you get into miniature crocheting?
Well, I could crochet. Well, my mum taught me how to crochet when I was 18. I was about to go on a trip to London. I went to York College. I knew that I was going to go on a bus for like 4 hours, and I can't read. It makes me feel travel sick. And for some reason, I thought, oh yeah, I'll just learn how to crochet on a bus, as you do. First attempts were absolutely horrendous. My tension was awful. Looked like more like a fishing net rather than anything pretty you'd want to wear. But I practiced. Lots of YouTube videos as well for new stitches. Carried the craft through university, although I did metalwork and enamelling, laser cutting and ceramics as well. And I graduated and I realised I don't have all the facilities and the workshops and the big machines that I had when I was there.
Of
So
course.
I was back up north, no job, thinking of something to do and to make, and I ended up making like hand warmers and sort of big crochet accessories. And my mum opened a shop in my hometown at the same time that I graduated, so that was a nice distraction from being unemployed. And I got a lot of sort of mixed responses from that. A lot of people liked what I did, but a lot of people correlate crochet and knitwear with a low price, unfortunately. So a lot of people are thinking like, oh, that's nice, but gosh, that's expensive. I could just go to the flea market myself and get some £2 wool and make it myself. And I mean, to be honest, I would think the same, especially in the age of Primark where you can get a jumper for £10. Can't blame them really. Around that time I was getting the bus to see my partner a lot, and I still do actually. And I was crocheting on the bus, and I need to find ways to make my work smaller and smaller to make it a bit more travel convenient. And I really don't know how I managed it, but I had some hooks that were, I think, my great grandmother's. And I just tried with some sewing thread once, and it just sort of like light bulb clicked in my head, and I thought these are really pretty, and they're small. How can I make them? How can I make them wearable? How can I make them into something that people enjoy having and wearing? Took time for me to kind of develop like the kind of cottons that I want to use and my designs. I couldn't read a pattern when I first started, so I just had to just kind of make it up and hope it worked. And that's kind of how it started. And now I'm here. Oddly enough.
I mean, your work is amazing. Is it very unique? Are there other people doing this, or you're quite unique in the way that you do your
Um,
crocheting?
I've seen more people doing it online now. I'm certainly not the first person to have done it, but I don't know a lot of other people out there. I know that there's a couple of people in Singapore who do it. There's bound to be some people in England who do, and I just don't know of them yet. I feel really bad, but I don't. It has become more popular, and I think it's as crocheters have become a bit more social media savvy. I've seen a couple of people feature on like Board Panda and other places to kind of really get their work really out there. So it is something crochet's always been popular. It's not a craft that's going to die out, but I think it has reached kind of a new platform of mainstream, especially with social media and things like that. And it's a really good collaborative community because you can share patterns and you can look at people's work in such an instant way. So that's quite nice. It is quite nice.
Of course, yeah. What's your favourite piece to make?
Oh, forget-me-nots. I don't know if I have one.
Really?
You probably won't be able to see it, but I have it as a crochet pattern as well.
They're so
there we go.
Beautiful. They're so beautiful and delicate.
They're
absolutely incredible. I just love the colours and the design. Incredible, really.
Thank you so much. I love the colours of your prints, though. They are so, the textures on them as well, because it's not just like blocks of colour. They're layered and there's transparencies, and you get new colours from them as well. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yes. I think we're both colourful people, aren't we?
Oh, well, what's life without colour? You need colour in your life. You need, you need, especially at this day and age, you need something to brighten up your day. And if it's on your walls, you can really change a wall, change a room, actually. A good piece of art can make it come alive, especially if you choose the right piece. But yeah, thank you.
No, it's all right. I love your rainbows, because you have some rainbow prints, don't you?
We do sell a lot of rainbows, actually. I think rainbows are, I mean, obviously at the moment rainbows are very popular, but I sell rainbows to the LGBTQ community. I sell rainbows for nurseries. I try and tailor rainbows to different colours and different techniques, and I have a lot of customers who have certain colours they want for their nurseries, so we'll do custom colours for their rainbows. In fact, one of our most popular rainbows colours came from a customer request, which was great. So, you know, I think working with customers a lot, you get an idea of what's popular, what they want, what's kind of trending at the moment, especially with nurseries. Nurseries seem to be quite a well, I think especially when your new baby comes, it's very important to get it right, especially when you're pregnant for so long and you've got all this preparation. I think parents like to make sure it's perfect for that baby when it arrives, and I love working with new parents. They're always so excited.
Do you get like more custom orders? Like, is that like a really like big part of what you do?
Yeah, I think custom orders are massive. I must get about 5 or 6 custom requests a day. Not obviously all of them go forward, but maybe a good 50% of them do, whether it's from altering a colour to one section, part of a picture, or it's creating a size that doesn't exist, or cropping it, or often rebuilding an entire image, or in one customer sense she wanted something we didn't even have, so we did it for her from scratch. We are photographers, which well, we've been doing photography for since 2000 really, so that's 20 years, and that's how I work with my husband Tom, and that's how we met, and we started selling pictures of York, and we sold them on the markets. I know.
I did the markets too. Was it Shambles Market?
No, we did crafts for Christmas. Well, actually, we did the Shambles Market for a bit, which was exhausting. Were you there?
Yes.
And that's all the best businesses start, isn't it, on the market? And then we kind of went to the Christmas markets in York. It used to be only 5 days, and we did that. Or was it 4 days? I can't remember now. And we did that for about 5 years, and then and then we realised the market for York pictures is quite small, so we started doing more kind of still life photography, and got picked up by some publishers, and we started this is obviously a long story, cut very short, we started selling to the big supermarkets and the big stores, the big department stores. So
that is the dream of so many makers, though, isn't it?
So we still do this. We've had in Argos, Wilko's, Marks and Spencer's, John Lewis. My brain's gone. I know.
Tell me more.
I know. I love it, and it's great to see your artwork in the Argos catalogue, or to go online and see people review your picture on Sainsbury's or or Wilko's or whatever, B&Q's, Homebase. So it's been great, and we've done that for a long time now, and the market obviously has changed over the years. Back then you would have images that were you do images for 2 years later, but the market is more you need to react a lot quicker now with the markets, and the publishers especially realise that you can't just buy it just changed basically. So we started doing our own stuff, and we were quite sick of doing what other people wanted to. So, for example, we'd get a brief and we'd work on that brief, and often the pictures they'd choose, I know, weren't the best ones. And when that happens time and time again, that maybe you've got more of an idea sometimes of what's popular and what's commercial. So our background in commercial art has been going for quite a long time, but we did photography for a long time, and our passion for modern art and Scandian geometrics and minimalism was growing to the point where it was getting frustrated. So anyway, we decided to temporarily ditch all that and move forward, and 3 different people said, oh my gosh, you must try Etsy. And we got some ideas together and designs and put them in Etsy, and they started really selling. So we were like, okay, this is something we can do. And it was nice to have a break from photography. And here we are 2 years later. We're still doing photography. We have another shop called Black and Bloom Studio where we sell a lot of our photography, but we very dark, very gothic, obviously black and white. We might start adding colour to that, we'll see. But the abstract art, I think, is a trend at the moment that is not going anywhere. It's very popular, and we love it. So yeah, that's us in a little tiny crocheted nutshell.
I didn't realise that there was, because I mean, we haven't, like, I haven't known much about your work and your shop until sort of all of this has come about, and seeing that you've been on Etsy since 2018 and you've had all of these reviews as well. It's amazing that you're just able to do that.
Well, I think one thing we do is put customers at our absolute forefront, and if there are any issues, especially if it's not our fault, it's to do with couriers, we will replace it straight away. We don't argue, we don't whatever, we just replace, we redo. Customers get replied to as soon as possible, and I suppose being in lockdown, that's been quite handy, because but yeah, that's I can guess the only thing that, I mean, a lot of people, I must say initially, not many reviews were happening, because when you're a small business, I think it's very hard to get going. And it took us a long time to get going. Initially, it was quite small, but it did kind of pick up. But yeah, it's a hard slog, is Etsy, but totally worth it. Totally.
Definitely. I mean, the nice thing for me, the one thing that I really, really like, is being able to have sort of a proper real-time conversation with my customers. It feels very local, but actually it's international, because we could be talking to somebody in Spain or Italy or America or Australia, which I've had, and we are able to sort of see to their needs more or less straight away. It's more of a bespoke customer service, but with the online platform, it's kind of like the nice mesh of the two, I think.
And isn't it amazing that you chat to these people about their order, and they could be anywhere. I just think it just give that platform such a local / as you said, international view. You could be talking to somebody as if they're your neighbour and they're in Chile or Japan or or what was the weird? We had a weird one from Uruguay the other time. Like, I wanted to ask her so many questions. Like, what's it like? You know, obviously you have to keep it professional, but sometimes friendships develop from customers, I've found.
Definitely. And when you get the repeat customers as well, I'm like, oh, thank you, you like me.
I know, and you've got to be careful not to be will you be my friend? But no, we're very lucky with it. I don't think there's anything like Etsy. It's such a unique platform to be able to share your skills and your love of what you do and put it out there for the world to see. It's wonderful, and I love seeing everybody else's stuff as well. I often get distracted very easily on Etsy, putting all sorts of things in my basket and pressing when I should be working.
Got to treat yourself. It's quite good like that. It is.
Yeah.
It's so strange thinking, because my mum is an artist, and she used to do craft fairs as well in York, and I spent most of my childhood weekends with her doing these craft fairs, and then now I'm kind of on the same stage as her, except the way we do it is so different. It's online now. I'm not necessarily having to go from one place to another to another. I used to. It was hard work. I loved it, but now I'm able to kind of interact with my customers instantly and share things instantly and share things as I make them.
Yes, I know, it is amazing. I think it has changed the way you work. It's changed the way we're able to sell, and you're able to sell patterns, and I'm able to sell the downloadable versions of my art, and people can just download and be creative themselves. I think it's amazing, really. We are very lucky, aren't we? What are your future plans? Have you got any designs that you've been wanting to do, or things in the pipeline?
I do have, unfortunately, I have to keep them close to my chest, but I've got a couple of designs that are going to be, that sounds awful. It's like, I want to tell you, but I can't. But I do really want to tell you, but I can't. I've got a couple of designs that I'm kind of on with for a couple of magazines, which is really nice.
Really? Oh,
yes. I'm always excited. So I've got that on the go. I always want to pick one of my designs and self-publish them as a crochet pattern, but that process is a long time because I'm writing the pattern, then it'll like, can I get it, can I make it better, can I make it more easy to understand, give it to a pattern tester, they need to test it with feedback, formatting, photography. It takes time, but yeah, I'm gonna keep designing, keep making, enjoy my summer holiday, back to teaching in September. It's gonna be great. What about you? Do you have any new design pursuits?
We'll have to see how it goes. But yes, I'm very much into the boho movement at the moment. Very much the kind of like earthy colours. I'm really heavily into my suns and my sunrises, and obviously, I mean, I might have some more rainbows up my sleeve. I really want to do more line art as well. I love minimalist black and white and line art. Sometimes you can have dashes of colour. I mean, you could do, I just love experimenting, and often when you do this kind of work, it just comes alive, and when you do it, it's just so beautiful. Minimalism is massive, and you can add your minimalist art when you do gallery walls, and gallery walls are massive as well. One thing I'm wanting to do is more collections, so put maybe some of my bestsellers in a collection of maybe 6 to 10 images. That's something I'd really looking forward to doing. It takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I really want to do more. Obviously, with this break we've had from our photography, I want to incorporate maybe a bit more photography. So maybe that's something we're looking at doing. Maybe combine the two, or maybe start selling our colour photography within. I don't know. I think we go where the market leads us as well. I mean, obviously you have to be careful when you do commercial art, not to just do what everybody else is doing.
Yes.
You need to have your own slant on it. You need to make sure that you, it's got your own, stamp on it, as it were. But I just love art, and I mean, I'd love to be able to paint, but That's not happening.
If you were to paint, what kind of medium would you go for? Like, would you be a watercolour, a gouache, an acrylic?
Well, I mean, we do actually sell watercolour paints, but we do actually work in alcohol ink. So that's one thing we do actually. I think when I say painting, I'm talking about, you know, the beautiful landscapes and delicate work. But yeah, we work with alcohol inks as well. And a lot of time creating an awful lot of work using alcohol inks. It's an amazing medium to use. You have straw and you can push the paint around, but it is not as easy as it looks. It is not. It is definitely a skill to acquire.
Does it sort of like almost leave sort of like thickened watermarks, almost like an agate does? Like you have like variants of like translucency, and it's like dark edging and
yeah. And some alcohol inks will change colour when they react with others, and it is beautiful, but it is very time consuming, and you could spend hours and it not look brilliant, and but it is. I love doing it. It's a whole day out, not a day out, but it's a whole day out to take a day out to do it, because but it's great fun.
It's a bit of an event.
It isn't an event, yes. So yeah. I think we're over the next few weeks at some point when we have time. So yeah, that is it. I think the problem is I love all mediums of art. I'm a bit of an art obsessive, and I will spend hours on YouTube watching art videos just about, I don't know, Picasso and things like that, just for inspiration. I think I would love to do a history of art degree one day. That's my dream in the future. We shall see.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, it has been like amazing to look at your work online.
Oh, you too, Steffi. Oh. It's such a good idea to be able to, because obviously, you know, we wouldn't say otherwise. It's fantastic.
This is great. Yeah. And like, on one day we'll meet face to face.
We will.
Like, I Zoomed you.
Is that you?
Once upon a Zoom.